a proud girl snatched the maid's iPad by force and threw it into the water. Then she said to the maid, "Now you got what you deserved." The maid, shocked, replied, "But what wrong have I done to you that you treated me like this?" The arrogant girl said, "You spend all day using this iPad and never pay attention to any housework." Just then, the proud girl's mother came in and asked, "Why are you making so much noise?" The arrogant daughter said, "Mom, she's accusing me falsely." The mother said, "What kind of accusation? Tell me what's going on." The maid said, "Your daughter threw my iPad into the water, and now she's blaming me." The lady said, "Yes, you probably did it on purpose, thinking you could accuse my daughter and get a new one." The maid replied, "Ma'am, just like your daughter, you're also accusing me." The proud lady said angrily, "Stop making such accusations." Just then, her husband arrived and asked, "What's going on here?" The arrogant wife quickly said, "Oh, nothing serious. She just came when I called her to do some housework." The husband said, "All right, take her inside then," and left. The proud lady turned to the maid and said, "Don't you dare tell my husband about this, or I'll fire you." The husband, however, was secretly listening to everything and left the room with her daughter. The helpless maid took her wet iPad out of the water and said sadly, "Who will buy me a new one now?" Later, the maid was in the kitchen when her employer called her and asked, "Did my wife and daughter argue with you?" The maid quietly said, "No, sir, nothing like that." The kind man said, "All right, carry on with your work," and left. The arrogant daughter was sitting in her room using her phone when her father entered and snatched it away. The proud girl said, "Dad, give me my phone back." The father said, "This phone has made you forget how to respect your elders," and walked away with it. A little later, he gathered everyone in the hall, his wife, daughter, and the maid. He said, "I've called you all here for a reason." The arrogant daughter asked, "What reason, Dad?" The kind father said, "Aren't you ashamed of yourselves? You both troubled a poor maid, blamed her for something she didn't do, and even threw her iPad into the water." The proud wife said, "No, that's not true. It slipped from her hands, and I even told her not to worry. I'd buy her a new one." The kind husband interrupted, "Stop this drama. Instead of blaming the maid, you should have taught your daughter a lesson, but you chose to support her lies." He continued, "A mother is supposed to teach her children manners and respect for others, not arrogance and mockery." Then he turned to his daughter and said, "Take this phone and give it to the maid as compensation for what you did." The ashamed daughter took the phone, went to the maid, and apologized. The maid said to the kind man, "Sir, you didn't have to do this. I could have managed to fix it myself." The kind employer replied, "I did this to teach them a lesson, that if you harm someone, instead of blaming them, you should make up for their loss. I've bought this for you on their behalf." The daughter lowered her head in shame before her father. He said to her, "My dear, always try to win people's hearts, not to embarrass your parents in front of others." The proud wife left the room in silence after hearing this. The daughter also left, and the kind man turned to the maid and said, "I'm sorry for what my wife and daughter did to you. Please forgive me." So, viewers, tell us in the comments, did the husband do the right things with wife and daughter? If you enjoyed the video, like it, subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to share it.